I built my home lab to accelerate my learning and skill development. The key to mastering any field is experimentation, and sometimes that means breaking things. There's simply no shortcut around it. To give you some background, I began my career as a chemist, which meant I was a few years behind my peers in terms of technical experience. To catch up, I had to bridge the gap and move out of the dreaded help desk role I was in, something I honestly couldn't stand. I've got tons of stories from that time, but that's a tale for another day. For now, let's dive into the hardware and software that transformed me from a help desk newbie into a sysadmin powerhouse. At the top of our server rack, we have a power strip. Under that, we have a patch panel. Under that, we have our firewall. And next to our firewall, we have our network switch. Under those two, we have our TP-Link router that we have in access point mode. Next to that, we have our KVM switch. Now, under those two, we have our Dell R630. That is the main powerhouse of this setup that I have lots and lots of fun with. Under that, we have two Cisco switches that I used back when I was chasing my CCNA. I have since moved on from that dream because I realized I'm not much of a networking guy. Under that, we have our backup server. Under that, we have our Power Rack that's going to be used for a Kubernetes cluster in the future. And under that, we have our brand new and improved video editing server that we are currently using right now to make this video. Let's go ahead and hop into the software that we run on the R630, our backup server, our firewall, and everything else. Our firewall runs OPNsense. It is an open source security solution. Honestly, I don't tinker with it much. Aside from the occasional update, it is packed with tons of features I haven't had the time to tinker with. One thing that I definitely love to dive into is WireGuard and set up my own VPN. The Netgear switch runs the stock operating system, but I opted for the smart version so I could segment my traffic off. For example, I wanted to separate my Wi-Fi and my LAN traffic, and you can only do this with VLANs. And the smart switch is the only thing that's able to do that. Proxmox is definitely the cornerstone of my home lab and my favorite hypervisor. It enables me to allocate resources and create virtual machines, essentially allowing me to run multiple virtual computers on one physical machine. Additionally, Proxmox supports containers, which is similar to virtual machines, but share the host kernel in a more efficient way. I also experiment with Kubernetes on my servers. It lets me manage containers across multiple machines, which optimizes resource use. The idea is simple. Why rely on just one machine when you can spread the load across multiple systems? OpenShift is essentially a more user-friendly version of Kubernetes, often used in enterprise environments. I first encountered it when an employer asked me if I was familiar with it. My response was something similar to, "What is that?" Fast forward to me purchasing an enterprise level server to run it on, and here we are. For Wi-Fi, I use the TP-Link router in access point mode. Even though it's only a $20 router, it gets the job done. I couldn't ask for much more from it, and it's been perfectly reliable for my home setup. Though there has been talks about TP-Link not being exactly safe, so I might purchase another one. In just 3 years, I've gone from a basic Linux installation to running a fully equipped 20U rack with complex infrastructure that would have blown my mind not too long ago. While I'm focused on mastering what I have, the prices of server racks and equipment are steadily dropping. Who knows where I'll be a year from now? I have a bucket load of projects I plan on sharing with you guys, so stay tuned for what I have in store.